Good evening, everybody. How's it going? It is Sonic's 28th birthday today, so we thought we'd go ahead and stream a little Sonic CD here for the fun of it. Now, I've got a weird history of Sonic. Uh, I myself, honestly, didn't touch a Sonic game really until about Sonic 2. And it wasn't even the Genesis version. It was the Game Gear version. Which I spent a lot of time into. Not as much as I did Sonic CD, though, surprisingly. And I didn't get the Sega CD until probably good 3 or 4 years later. It was a weird time. The kid down the street, of course, had Sonic 1, and that's kind of where my whole thing started, was with that. And then along the way, of course, getting into collectibles and all that good stuff, and pretty much going around and collecting all the Sonic games as they came out. It's been a very interesting path. Another memorable one, of course, was when Sonic Adventure was released on the Sega Dreamcast in '99, and waiting in line for that, and finding that the first print run of Sonic Adventure was bugged to the point where you couldn't even play it, and you had to take it back to EB Games or Babbage's to get a new copy. And thankfully, when I did that, they were nice enough that they still had the kiosk there, that they tested about 4 different copies of Sonic Adventure before they actually found one that worked. So it was rather interesting. And then, of course, when Sonic Adventure 2 came out, they had that big birthday pack for the 10th anniversary, which I don't have here with me. I tried looking for it. I'm not sure where it is, but it came with a nice little collector's coin, a mini history of Sonic, as well as a compilation of various music from Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, I think Sonic Spindle, maybe not, but and then Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, and then a whole remix of a bunch of them. It was very cool, and of course that was just a pre-order item. And then I actually managed to get a hold of a collector's pin during E3 back in 2000. For a 10th anniversary Sonic, which is kind of neat. But yeah, if you follow me on the YouTubes under TJ Kitsune, I do have an older video of the Sonic collection I have. So if you're interested in seeing that, I may do an updated one at some point in time. But yeah, so weird history, lots of cool stuff, and yeah. The thing about Sonic CD, many people don't realize, is there's actually 2 different versions released for the Sega CD. There was the retail version, which came in the large box that we're all used to for the Sega CD and Sega Saturn, and the disc inside was actually blue with a cloud pattern. Later on, when the Sega CD-X was released, they actually came out with a cardboard version that was packaged with the 5-in-1, which include Echo the Dolphin and some classic Sega Genesis games. And that version had a pink disc with the cloud pattern. So for you collectors out there, might be something worth looking into. If you can find the pink version with the cardboard package. And there was a manual for it about the size of a regular CD case that was also separate. So, yeah. Interesting stuff. So, I guess we're going to jump into this. This is on the original Sega CD. I managed to get it working. There are, again, various different versions of Sonic CD. Of course, you have the original, you have the PC version, which had extended cutscenes. Then the newer versions for the Xbox 360, PS3, that came out later on that were more in widescreen. A little better detailed graphics for the cutscenes, which included the PC version extended cutscenes. And then you have, of course, the newer versions also have the ability to play as Tails. We don't have that in this one. So, and it's been a long time since I've actually played this version. So we'll see how far we get, and if I'm any good at getting these time stones still. And of course, we are using the Retrobit 6-button controller on this thing, because I'm lazy and couldn't bother to actually get up and find any original controllers, but it works great! We're going to start here and go running through this, I guess. Let's see, we got new game, RAM data. And I had to end up formatting the RAM data on my Sega CD. Because it's been so long, it corrupted itself. Joy, joy. I'm just going to take my time. I don't think we're going to bother too much with getting the good and bad versions of this, or going into the future and all that junk, unless we accidentally do it, like we may do here. Which we did. I always thought this was a weird but yet cool concept of going between the future and the past. And I changed the spin dash in this even. You actually had to hold it down instead of just revving it. I'm 2 rings short. Of course. We're off to a great start. Need to find some coin boxes here somewhere, ring boxes, I should say. This isn't Mario. Yeah, 50 rings. Let's just brush through this and not worry about that. Thank you. Alright, first time's done. Nope. Let's make up my time now. That's okay. We made it. Click on the guy. Well. Alright, away we go. And Amy's first appearance? Yep. So long. Almost lost everything there. Oh. Alright, now we'll see if I'm any good at getting the second one here. Okay. Oh. Anxiety was a little bit high there. Didn't want that. One more ring, come on. Go on to the third one. Not enough speed to get it. Well, come on. Just one more. Bingo. Try to make this look easy. Now for one of the more frustrating bosses in this game. Ah. Cheap. Come on, get up there. Up, 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 up. There we go. Normally I really struggle with that, trying to get up there. Title Tempest. Joy, joy. All the rings. Give me all the rings. Ah, come on. Perfect. don't remember the tactic that I had for this one, so we're just gonna kind of see what happens. Boom. Shoot. Four down, just two more to go. Oh, just another shield. I'm good, thanks. We'll take some air though. Boom. Ooh. Alright, getting tougher and tougher. Oh, really? I'm not even going to attempt that. Where would I go? 3. One more. Come on. Alright. Whew. I think just one more to go. Two more. I think there were 7? Can't remember if there's 6 or 7 time stones.
Yeah.
Alright, bubble time. Dropping frames like crazy. Too much going on the screen. Oh, man. Oh, those wonderful rings. Yeah. Really? Ugh. Jerk. I didn't want that sign. No! Come on. All I want is a few dozen rings. Is that so much to ask for? Loot. Come on, some more rings. You're not gonna give them to me, are you? Ooh. Hi. Go away, please. Thank you. That works. There. Alright, 53. Should be enough. I don't want to go to the past. I want to go on this chair. Wait! No, this might be the last one. Alright, let's not screw this up, shall we? Come on, really? Come back here. Ah. Just 3 more. last one at? 20 seconds here. Where are you hiding? Crap. Oh no! Hey Gory, yeah, classic game. I'm failing miserably getting this last time stone. Gotta find those rings. Actually, I wanted to go down. Terrible dismissive stages? Yeah, they took some practice, I'll tell you that. Ten more rings. Two more. And there we go. No, what about the future? Nope, not that way. Let's attempt this one more time. So far, we've managed easily to get all of them except for this last one. So, let's see. What happens if I turn around and go this way instead? Nope. That's just gonna screw me up more. This is the worst. Come here! It's like you get so close and then they just don't want to come near you. Alright, I'm gonna go over here and find this other one here before time runs out. One more. Where are you at? All the way over there. Of course. Ah. No! There! Oh, that was tough. Sure, yeah, there's one more to get. What the heck? So where's 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, clever. Yeah, we don't have the Sega logo here yet. That's gonna be tough getting 50 rings and get through Wacky Workbench in one piece. Look at my timing here. Come on. No, bouncing's the worst in Wacky Workbench. And of course I'm out of rings. Welcome, Congo Jack. Yeah, Wacky Workbench really isn't my favorite either. Let me see if we can get through it here and get that last time stone. I mean, I like Wacky Workbench's music, but yeah. Nope. Start a speedway? Yeah, we'll be there soon. Boink. Oh. Trying to make it over there. There we go. Alright, just stay on the moving blocks. We'll be fine. Maybe. Hate this level. More rings, please. Alright, got our 50. Let's get to the end here in one piece. No! Ugh. Worst part ever. Yikes. Don't you dare travel, thank you. Alright, we made it. Whew! You gotta be careful which version of Chemical Planet you're talking about. The original or the remakes? Alright, one more. Let's see if we can wait for it here. Look at that. Got them all! Alright, now we can just zoom through the rest of the game. Anxiety levels are finally coming back down. Round and round we go. Boing. Whoop. Oh! Alright, get out of there. Going up. That was a breeze. Everything looks so shiny now. Actually, I want to go up. Thank you. All these animals flying around. Oh, well, what? Crud. Let's see if we can make through this with 1 or 0 rings. Come back here. apologize for the chat on the screen. I'm not sure why it's so low there. Alright, Stardust Speedway. Don't really want to go to the past. Oh, that time travel crap. Alright, I guess we'll go backwards. No! Try jumping. That was dumb. Let's raise this font size a bit. Not gonna be able to do much, but it's something. Sound Shower with a raid of 13 people. Holy cow! Welcome, Sound Shower and Raiders. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Welcome to Megavisions, the only physical Sega magazine. Fan magazine, I should say. We just released our 8th issue. If you're actually at too many games this last weekend, you may have been lucky enough to grab a copy. Otherwise, we do still have a bunch of physical copies of issue 7 available, with the wonderful art from Sketchcraft on it. Issue 8 actually has Panzer Dragoon on the front cover, for you Panzer Dragoon fans. Finally able to catch us online. Awesome. Well, we try to stream Sundays if I'm capable. Otherwise, usually Scotty's around on Tuesday or Wednesday nights, and then Kusanagi is usually on Fridays. If that helps you at all. Of course, tonight we're just celebrating Sonic's 28th birthday. We figured we'd stream some sort of Sonic game. I'm paying more attention to the chat than I am the game. Well, welcome, Raiders. Ah. Just trying to get through this so we can get to that Metal Sonic race. A whole series playthrough. Oh my gosh, are you going through like each Sonic game then? That's gonna be intense. Do you include Knuckles Chaotix or anything in that too? Every game in order of release. Wow. I'll have to check that out. Oh, Sonic 2 on the Master System? Yeah. I was actually just talking about that at the beginning of the stream, about how Sonic 2 on the Game Gear was actually my first Sonic game. It trolled you hard. Oh no. Well, hopefully you made it through. Are you like getting like all the emeralds and everything in all those games too? Because if so, ah, crap. Got stuck trying to go up that hill. It's actually my first death. Yeesh. Not going out of your way? Okay. I try to go for him as much as I can. Oh, they're in the same place as the Game Gear version. I think the hardest one is the one where you have the hang glider. You have to get it up the very top of the screen, like halfway through the level. Ooh. Really? Ugh. Come on. Get that momentum going here. Stupid Metal Sonic. Alright, home free. So long. Yeah, the hang glider one was the toughest one. That took me quite some time to actually figure out how to get to. Something I'll have to consider, seeing if I can get back into the Game Gear version. I sadly don't have a Master System available to me, so... I don't actually need to do the good futures because now I have all the time stones. So I don't have to worry about going into the past and all that stuff. I'm still gonna get the good ending, so... That was kind of my thought, was if I just went through, got the time stones, I don't have to worry about going back to the past or the future. I hate the time travel concept anyway. It drives me nuts. Nope. Panzer Dragoon Saga was actually Scotty. I was doing Magic Knight's Ray Earth for a while. Amok, I think, was probably Kusanagi. I don't think Scotty has that. But, I could be wrong. Definitely wasn't me, though. I'm not lucky enough to have Panzer Dragoon Saga. I do have Burning Rangers, though, which I did stream some time ago. We are zooming through this, already towards the end of it. Yeah, Burning Rangers is kind of one of the rare titles in the US. Between Magic Knights, Burning Rangers, and Panzer Dragoon Saga, those are probably the toughest ones to really get. After that, you have the Shining Force games, Shining in the Holy Ark. The any of the Working Designs ones really are probably the more expensive and rare ones to find. And then, of course, you have all the variants, because all those wonderful Working Designs had different discs. For you mad collectors out there. Oh, Epcot! Wow, didn't even know that they had a thing for that. I was lucky enough to get Burning Rangers off of a kid back when I was in college, and he only asked $30 for it. I thought that was a steal back then. And that was back in 2004? And even then, Saturn games were really hard to find. Ow. Oh, they replaced them with the Dreamcasts. Well, kind of makes sense, I guess. It's been a few years since I've been to Epcot. Normally I stream Dreamcast stuff. I actually got a full US Dreamcast set. So I try to go through those as much as I can. Saturn only have maybe 60 games physically. But I'm not huge on emulation either, so... Full PAL set. PAL's got some unique games too that we never got, unfortunately. That's really cool. How long did it take you to get the full PAL set? Did I want to go this way? I don't think I wanted to go this way. Nope, I didn't want to. Trash? Well, I mean, not every system can have, you know, really good games, the whole library. Oh, back in the mid-2000s, okay. Crazy Taxi 2, oh, French exclusive. Really? I didn't know that. Moho. What is Moho? I don't think I've heard of that one. Oh, based off the movie. Interesting. I didn't finish Mindset until 2014 is when I finally got the last one, which was like Gunbird 2 or Mars Matrix, one of those crazy shooters. Make a Sonic CD too? And how would you have them do that, Congo? Kind of the same concept where you go back to the future and past? No, that's not what I wanted. Come here. It's okay. Let's do this. Yeah, the boss music in this is kind of creepy. And of course there's Amy. Now we kick back and enjoy that sweet, good ending. So do you actually have a favorite Sonic game, Sound Shower? Out of everything? Now how about everybody else? What's your favorite Sonic game? Or even Sonic memory for that fact, I mean, being that it is his birthday today. Sound Shower says, toss it between Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Mania. Ooh, yeah, those are good choices. I think Sonic Mania would probably be at the top of most people's list. Nostalgia might nudge it towards Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I would say Sonic 3 and Knuckles is probably my favorite just because of the extended game itself. And that weird DLC concept of buying a second game to make it one full one. If I had to pick a top three, it would probably be Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic CD, and third one would probably be Sonic Triple Trouble. Sonic Chaos would be coming in close fourth, just because of how easy that game was. Missed all the Game Gear games back in the day. Did you guys get the Sonic Gems or the Sonic Collection on the GameCube, I think, or the Xbox? Because I know those had some of the original Game Gear games, and I would say Sonic Triple Trouble was one of them. Okay, yeah, so I think the Mega Collection had some of the Game Gear games on it. Don't remember which ones, though. Full PAL Sonic Collection. Oh man, that is aggressive. I one time considered going for all the Sonic games in the US, and I'm missing quite a few, like the Leapster and the Leapfrog, and some of like those really weird ones they released for those plug-in machines and such. The plug-and-play ones I'm missing, of course. We've got all the Game Gear ones, the Saturn, the Dreamcast, the Genesis, Sonic CD, of course. But yeah, I don't have them all on. I actually have the Pico one. Sonic the Hedgehog. No, it's sitting right behind me. I can't even see it. But I am missing Tales in the Music Maker. I am missing that one for Pico. And I've got the Dreamcast collection for the Xbox 360, all the Sonic Rider games, the Wii games. I'm missing some of the 3DS ones. Wacky Workbench? I mean, that's a stage in Sonic CD, but yeah. There's Wacky Worlds. Is that one you're talking about for the Genesis? Or Mega Drive? Oh, can't remember. Okay. Alright, so we managed to finish this, get the good ending, got all the time stones, goody goody goody. What else do we have here? Do we have RAM data? Nope, we gotta go through the time attack to unlock all the fun stuff in this. I don't know if I'm feeling that ambitious. So I think there was the sound test and all that good stuff, and you'd have to go through and... Oh man. So many hours put into this. Why do people prefer the European soundtrack over Japanese? You mean like the Western soundtrack? A lot of people prefer the Japanese one because that was the original, and it has Sonic Warrior for the main title theme instead of Sonic Boom. Yeah, what Sound Shower said. So what we just played was the US version, which had the US only soundtrack. I think it was just a matter of preference if you liked Sonic Boom or Super Sonic Warrior. The Super Sonic Warrior is the one that most people remember it by, and was carried over into several of the other games later on. I don't know, for shits and giggles, let's see if we can actually go through here and get some of this. Yeah, Super Sonic Warrior was in Sonic 2 on on the Master System. It was a weird one. Warrior also appears... There was a couple other ones too that had Sonic Warrior on it. Can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, 40 seconds, not too bad. You. Alright, we're just gonna leave that, I guess. Next, what do we got? Palm Tree Panic 2. Alright, well, hey, thank you very much, Sound Shower. I'll have to find you again sometime. Really appreciate it. Come on. No, I went down there. Thank you. Alright, where does that put this at? 92 minutes, huh? Still not enough to get anywhere near where we need to be to unlock all this stuff. Ugh. Yeah, it's just gonna give the RAM data. Oh boy. Well, for those hanging around, I don't know. Nobody really answered me other than Sound Shower as to what their favorite Sonic game was. Congo, if you're still out there, do you have anything to add to it, or any questions? I was actually talking earlier about the two different versions of Sonic CD out there, for the US at least. There was the retail version, and then the one that was packaged with the Sega CD X, and the differences between the two. Which I do have in front of me, if anybody's interested in seeing those. What the two discs look like. Or any other Sega CD games you may be interested in. I don't know if we want to jump into another Sonic game so quickly. The other thing too is if you want to hang out with some of us over at Megavisions, you can actually find our Discord there. I'm not sure if that link actually works or not. Let me get a fresh one just in case. There we go. Join our Discord if you want to talk all things Sega with us, or discuss the Megavisions magazine. Otherwise, might have to just say that our time is up for tonight. It's now going on a little after 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time here in the good old Chicago area. Again, if any of you went to too many games and actually have pictures of the Megavisions booth and you'd like to share that, we'd be happy to actually see some of those. We posted some on our Instagram under Megavisions Mag. Honestly, it might be a fun thing to actually rock through this on the newer version, but do you like Sonic Spinball? Thought it looked cool in the commercials, but they somehow effed it up. And what makes you think they effed it up? I don't know. I personally, gosh, the first stage of Sonic Spinball is pretty memorable to me just because of the music. And I thought it was pretty cool to see, but later on in the game it gets very frustrating. Especially when you have to go find all those stupid emeralds. It did get mediocre reviews. A lot of people didn't like it. They tried to hash it in with the Saturday morning cartoon and include some of the characters. Originally, from what I understand, it was supposed to be a homage to the cartoon series, and then they later had to change it to the pinball version. I mean, if you're really interested, I could try to pop it in. I do have a copy of Sonic Spinball sitting around. I couldn't even tell you how good I am at it, but no? Okay. Curious on opinions. Fair enough. I mean, if you talk to some of the other writers for Megavisions, you're going to get very mixed reviews as well. Some of us really hated it. Some of us really liked it. I think there may be one or two people who really like Sonic Spinball. Outside of the first level, I would say it's very frustrating. I basically ended up cheating back in the day just to get to the last level to see the ending to it. And I think there's only like 3 or 4 levels. And it's really quite short. Yeah, not anywhere near the top 10 Sonic games for me. I did like the Toxic Cave music though. That definitely got me. And there was a soundtrack called Virtual Sonic. If you can find it, it's really rare to come by, but they had a remix of it from the Sega Art Institute that they had back in the day, who did the music for Sonic Spinball. And it's got a really weird remix of the Sonic and Knuckles theme too. My favorite tracks on that though were probably City in the Clouds, which was never used in any of the Sonic games, and the Metal Sonic 3, which is a really weird, hard, heavy metal cover about Metal Sonic. It's a unique soundtrack. And I think in that pack also came with the Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkatron soundtrack, Comic Zone, and the X-Men 2 Clone Wars, which also had a very interesting soundtrack to it. I'm sorry if I'm just kind of babbling. Full of all kinds of useless trivia when it comes to some of these older games.